This is the song I wanted. Gonna kick things off here as we crown champions on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports Radio 1350 AM+. We are live and amplified around the world right now on the Inland Sports Channel as well, so go ahead and check that out. Speaking of champions, we got the ACA Eagles in the house. Arrowhead Christian were your CIF Southern Section Division 7 champion last night, getting the job done at UCR, making it look easy, especially considering the circumstances. We're going to talk about what the Eagles were going through last night, playing with heavy hearts, but still winning that title. We're also going to break down that Tockwitz Championship with their head coach, Ron Savage, the Division 4 champion. Highlights of Corona coming up short at Dodger Stadium. Big show, plus as we jump into the second segment, wink, wink, with Taylor Fleming from UC Riverside going to the NCAA Division I National Championships in the long jump. And then in our last segment, we're going to have Doug Gottlieb from Fox Sports 1. We're going to talk NBA draft and also NBA Finals. Can Cleveland come back? So a very busy show. Cannot mess around. We're going to get right to it. It's all brought to you by our good friends at Spoiled. Quick quality oil change. You'll be spoiled by their excellent customer service. Great prices. Check them out off Alessandro Boulevard. Bill Navigado, we love you. Ken Sporting Goods, more than 40 years in the Inland Empire, taking care of all your sports gear needs, plus Letterman's jackets. They embroider. They do everything. That Jeff's cups. They handle it all. KenSportingGoods.com. Jeff, you know they do. Fandom House Studio. Nobody has better sports edits than Fandom House Studio. Get a great photo shoot for the athlete in your life. Don't have to be an athlete, though. Maybe you're just looking for senior pictures. Maybe you're getting married. They can hook it up. FandomHouse.com. And, of course, Boost Performance Training in Corona. Athletes of all levels. Go to Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Basson. He brings lots of experience, former Centennial football star. He loves what he does, committed to grooming great athletes. Go to boosttrainingsystems.com for more information. All right, join us here on the show. We've got a big one because we're excited to have the ACA Eagles in the house winning their first CIF Southern Section baseball title. The D7 champs taking care of, it was Faith Baptist, the number one team in Division 7 last night. Guys, first off, welcome to the show. Congratulations. Winning that Division 7 title. How did that feel last night? We'll talk about all the other stuff that was going on, but winning the school's first title at UCR last night against Faith Baptist.
Thank you for having us on the show this morning.
Of course, the catcher steps up. The catchers are leaders, right? Born leaders.
Of course. It's been real cool. For all of us, I think this is everyone's first playoff game we've actually got to play. And so just the playoff ride itself has been just unreal for us. And so last night, getting to play at Cruiser's Future School, UCR, taking care of business there for him. So that was cool. And, of course, we were playing for Jamie up there. So it was real cool playing that game last night.
Well, you mentioned it. Jamie Gross, the wife of Kip Gross, your head coach, she passed away on Thursday. Tragic news. So obviously you're playing with heavy hearts. Their son Tucker actually played in the game, contributed, right? He was a big player in that game last night as well. So going into it, obviously you were playing with Jamie on your mind and on your hearts. How much of it were you playing for the Gross family and wanting to get that CIF title, that ring for them?
Well, Kip has done so much for our team all year. He's always been picking us up. He's taught us so much about the game, and so I mean, really, the whole game was for Kip and for Jamie. I know Kip's going through a really tough time, clearly, and so that really brought the team together. I think behind Tucker, his son, and also behind Kip. And I mean, it really brought the team together. I think we did a great job, and I think we did it for Jamie.
Got the ACA Eagles in the house, 14-2 over top-seeded Faith Baptist for the CIF Southern Section Division 7 title last night at UC Riverside. Jesse Juarez, Robert Cruz, Josh Ferrari, right? Nailed that? All right. And, of course, Tyler Montanez, the catcher. Guys, when you were going into this game, you're going up against the top seed, but did you have that confidence about this team? Like, you guys were kind of saying off the air that you knew you had a good team, but sometimes you just need to put it together and maybe believe in yourselves and bring it every single game. Like going into this game, did you say, if we just play our game, we're going to get this title. We can't take it for granted.
Yeah, watching them warm up and as we were going through our ground balls, we weren't, at least I think most of us weren't really even all that nervous. We were excited for how the game was going to play out, and more than anything, we were just trying to play as a team and pick each other up.
Let's go to Jesse Juarez. Jesse, you got the start last night, right, against Faith Baptist and held them as a team to just 2 runs. Were you feeling it last night?
Yeah, it was just really hot, I had to
stay in there and be focused.
Do you guys get up for the big stage? Playing at UC Riverside, it's a cool stadium, right? You got the championship on the line. People are extra loud. I mean, it's not like a normal league game, where there'd be like 30 people in the stands. Like, did it just feel different?
Well,
Tyler?
it's funny you say that because, as us and with Kip and just Kip's philosophy, we just show up and play the game. Like, we don't really do much pregame. I think a lot of teams think it's kind of unorthodox for us to do that. So, when we showed up, I don't think any of us really understood how big of a game it actually was until we got there, and all the CIF people were escorting us places, and there's so many fans.
Rock stars, right?
Yeah, it was totally different.
Gatorade.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Free Gatorade.
Yeah.
You're big time, right?
Exactly, because Kip is all about, and it's been part of us too now. Just we just show up and we play our game, and we don't really worry about anything going on around us. So the big stage and everything was super exciting, just totally new for us. It was kind of cool.
Josh, you're way too quiet over here on the end. Let me ask Josh Ferreri here.
Yeah, get some Josh.
Obviously, we're watching some video of you guys winning it last night and the dog pile out there. Was it somewhat bittersweet knowing that, the circumstances with your head coach and his family and his wife, Jamie, and just winning that CIF championship? I just feel like there's just a bunch of mixed emotions, but probably pretty proud and happy that you were able to do that for the Gross family, to get that championship.
Yeah, throughout the whole game, it was pretty emotional. When Tucker got up and got the base hit, everyone in the stands got wild. For him to come out after his mom passed away, it was just really great. But
and you said there was no doubt he wanted to play, right? I don't even know if I could do that. That's so tough.
We were just talking about that.
Man, emotionally tough and probably grounded in his faith that he could just go out there and do something like that, knowing his mom's in a better place, a safe place, a good place, right?
Yeah, but during the dog pile, he had a huge smile on our face. We're all happy. Kip wasn't there to be with us, but now he has the title in his house. We played for Jamie the whole way. So at the end of the day, we were just all proud that we got the championship.
Tyler, I think it was you when we were talking off the air. I said, where's the championship trophy right now? And what did you tell me? Where's it at right now?
Yeah, so last night after the game, we all got back to school, and me and my parents took it up there to visit Kip and his family. And it's funny that you asked, because I told Kip, I'm like, yeah, our principal's name is Mr. Bell. And so he said, I'm trusting you got to bring it back to the school because the school wants it. I'm like, okay, well, we want to take Kip to go see it. So we brought it to Kip's house, and the first thing he says is, oh, no, it's mine. So we'll see, but it was pretty cool. It was a cool moment. Kip was pretty pumped about it. It was awesome.
I know Mr. Bell, he's probably watching the show right now. We'll work it out, right? We'll have some sort of a compromise between the two. We got the ACA Eagles here on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports Radio 1350 AM, plus live and amplified right now on the Inland Sports Channel as well. They won the CIF Southern Section Division 7 title. And guys, what a turnaround. The last couple seasons, they haven't been really that great at ACA. Is there something you can put your finger on? I can go over here to Robert. Is there something that you can say, you know what? This was definitely one of the signs of the turnaround of what the program was doing, maybe the team was doing, what the coach was saying. I don't know what it was, but why the turnaround this season?
Well, this is Kip's, second official year at Arrowhead Christian. And he said from the beginning of the season, there's something special about this team. We have so much team chemistry, whether it's our bat boy Marky, who has Down syndrome, or there's just so much team chemistry that we have. And Kip said from the beginning of the year that we have something special, and just working hard every day. This is what we were working towards, and we got it. So.
And 14-2, you guys came in here. I said you made it look easy. There's no drama in it. Whose dad had the hat? The CIF champ.
Yeah.
Josh. So Josh, step up to the mic. What was that story about?
So my dad in the second inning, we scored our first 3 runs, but at the bottom of the first, I was running in and to go and hit, and I look up in the stands just looking for my parents, and I see him have the CIF championship hat on. And I was
calling a shot, right?
Yeah, it was still 0-0 in the second inning, so I was just like, all right, well,
it's confidence.
Yeah.
It's a lot of confidence right there.
Yeah.
How cool is it? Who was at the bottom of the dog pile, and have you guys ever had a dog pile in your life, and how good did that feel?
That was the first dog pile I've ever been a part of. And I think Jesse was right under me, right? Yeah. I fell on Jesse, and then I had pretty much the whole rest of the team on top of me. I was kind of making sure Jesse
it looks
was okay.
fun, but it's probably dangerous, right? There's cleats flying everywhere, and the guy on the bottom, poor guy on the bottom, right?
Yeah, no, I think it was.
Was that you, Tyler, on the bottom?
I was down there with these guys, I think. And the bullpen catcher, Maddie, was down there with us.
It was totally worth it. it though.
Oh, absolutely. I think it was perfectly awkward for our team, the dog pile, because no one went down initially. Like we all just kind of stand there jumping around. And finally,
I had to pull everyone down.
Yeah,
You did. Come on, guys. Got to make it a real dog pile,
I think
right?
it was the perfectly awkward dog pile for our team. I don't think it could have gone any better.
You guys just kind of awkward as a team.
Yes.
Is there a way? Is there a story you can share that's like, you know what? We're just kind of like the, I don't want to say weird guys, but the awkward guys.
Yeah, we're just
There's so many.
We're just such a mix. We're just such a weird mix. I mean, we got I was homeschooled. I was a homeschool kid. Came in my junior year. Tyler came from public school, and then
These
we are
two
playing at
came
a
in.
Christian private school.
Yeah,
so-
it's just total blend of everyone. We have kids that come from different backgrounds, different lifestyles, and I think it's just a perfect blend for our team to like bring us together. Like Cruz said earlier, our bat boy Marky, he has been like my favorite part of my entire life at ACA. Like this kid just puts a smile on everyone's face and just has a blast at all times. So I think he's a big part of why we have so much fun and we can play loose.
Sounds like you guys actually enjoy being around each other, and playing baseball with one another.
We're gonna miss it. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be. It's tough because we're moving on to college ball, but we'll miss our team for sure.
We all have our relationships on and off the field, not just on the field.
Yeah.
Where did you guys finish in the Ambassador League?
Third.
Third.
Yeah.
So coming out of league and going into the CIF Southern Section playoffs, did you think, you know what, this is a championship team, we're going to make a run all the way to the title? I mean, was there any sort of confidence, or was like, you know what, let's just take it one game? I mean, you guys had to go to Boron, all kinds of crazy places, right?
Yeah.
I mean, talk about the whole run. I mean, was it like after the first game, you're like, man, you know what, I think we can do this? Or was it like, okay, well, let's play one more, let's get to the second round, okay, quarterfinals, okay, now we're going to Boron, it's getting more real now.
I mean, we had a lot of confidence going in. I mean, I know everyone was nervous our first game, but after like the first 2 or 3 games, we were beating teams by 10, and after we started it would be Mercy in the season, but playoffs didn't have that. But since we were getting so ahead, I think that's where I got my confidence. We're like, wow, we actually have a chance to actually get a title this year. So
Yeah, kind of thought we belong.
yeah, and then we went out to Boron, and they were a steady team. They were pretty good, but then we got ahead, and we stood ahead, and then we went out and got it.
Be honest, who knew where Boron was before you guys actually made that trip?
Yeah, I had no idea.
Nobody.
It looked like Afghanistan.
It feels like it, right? On the desert, like in the middle of nowhere?
Oh yeah, and I called my it's funny, I called my grandpa yesterday and he goes, yeah, I couldn't make it out to the Boron game, but before the game I had to look on the map where you guys were actually playing because I've never even heard of it. Yeah.
Sounds like an element, isn't it?
Yeah, it
I think it
does.
is. Yeah.
Population of 25 people.
Yeah, middle of nowhere. ACA Eagles here on the show, guys. Congratulations on that CIF Southern Section Division 7 title. Obviously, kind of bittersweet because of what's going on with the Gross family. So we send our prayers to Coach Kip and his son Tucker and the entire Gross family. But I'm sure that feeling of winning the title last night is going to be a good one that you guys are going to remember for a very, very long time. And we'll let Mr. Bell and Coach Gross figure that out with the championship trophy, where that thing's going to live, right?
Yeah, they'll get it worked out.
Real quick, let's update you on the other CIF Southern Section Championship games that we had last night. Of course, at Dodger Stadium, Corona in Division 1 taking on El Toro. And, man, it was just one of those days where Corona just didn't put together their best game, and they were taking on a very good team. Wishing Rumpel Snakeskin the third speedy recovery. That's an inside joke with the Panthers here. But El Toro scored 2 in the first. They got 2 more in the second. They built that 4-0 lead on Corona, and it was just a little bit too much. That Jake Jackson, the starter for the Chargers, so good. Complete game shutout, just 3 hits. Corona put a man on in the top of the 7th to kind of make things interesting, but the game ended on a double play, and El Toro is your CIF Southern Section Division 1 champion, but still a really great season for Corona coming out of the Big 8 League. And right after ACA won the title last night at UC Riverside, we had Tockwitz. They won the Division 4 title against Grace Brethren. That one went 8 innings as Tockwitz wins 2-1. Caleb Farmer with that game-winning hit in the top of the 8th to put the Titans ahead. And coming up in our next segment, we'll hear from head coach Ron Savage from Tockwitz High School. And excited to have ACA and Tockwitz going back-to-back at UC Riverside last night. It was a very cool deal for Inland Empire Schools. Once again, guys, appreciate the time. That's the ACA Eagles CIF Southern Section champions here on the Inland Sports Show. When we come back, We'll talk with Taylor Fleming, UC Riverside long jumper, and of course Talkwitz head baseball coach Ron Savage. You're watching and listening to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports Radio 1350 AM.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
We focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. You come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
Back here on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports Radio 1350 AM. I'm Pep Fernandez. We appreciate you listening and watching. We're live and amplified on the Inland Sports Channel right now. Brought to you by Spoil Quick Quality Oil Change, Ken Sporting Goods, and Boost Performance Training. We're going to have Ron Savage, head coach at Talkwitz High School, your CIF Southern Section Division 4 champion, as the Talkwitz Titans got the job done last night, beating Grace Brethren in extra innings. He's going to check into the show. It's a good time to remind everyone that coming up on Monday, June 12th, is the Inland Empire Baseball Coaches Association All-Star Game at San Manuel Stadium in San Bernardino. And, of course, Inland Sports will have it live. Are you doing the play-by-play on that, Jeff?
I do whatever you tell me to do, Pat.
Well, we got like 7 interns. Poor Bobby back here. We're going to put him to work. I mean, if you're watching this live and amplified, they're going to be like, man, they must have got like a security guard or bodyguard in the corner. No, it's Bobby the intern.
Yeah, he's
put him to work
giant.
at the All-Star Game.
Makes me look mini.
He's a football guy, but you know
very
baseball,
large.
Bobby? Yeah, he knows baseball. Of course he does. So
Just say hits and homers, and you're good.
Lots of hits and homers in this one. So Monday, June 12th, San Manuel Stadium, live on the Inland Sports Channel. It's the IEBCA All-Star Game. We've done it the last couple of years, and it's the top seniors in the entire Inland Empire, Riverside County against San Bernardino County. So that's going to be a lot of fun. That's coming up next Monday. So Talkwitz beat Grace Brethren 2-1 in extra innings last night. I got to ask Coach about the protest because our guy Cullen was at the game last night, and he tweeted me at one point and said the game was under protest. So right now, let's go to the Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change Celebrity Hotline. And I had to move him up in the show, and he said, anything for you, Pep. It's the head coach of Tahquitz, Ron Savage. He's also a CIF Southern Section champion. Coach, welcome to the show, and congratulations on the win last night.
Thank you very much, Steph. I appreciate that.
Coach, we were just talking about, I saw something about a protest. What was that play? I know it doesn't matter now, but what was that protest about?
Well, thank God it didn't have to happen. But the kid reached his pitching limitations, and he was on his 111th pitch, and he basically ended up throwing one too many pitches in the contest. And I basically went to home plate, asked him what his pitch count, what the pitch count was, and Grace Brethren indicated it was 111, and I said to the umpire he can't be at 111 because that was a new batter right there. And CIS decided to remove him from the game immediately. The rule stipulates that that it's supposed to be an automatic forfeiture of the game. However, I'm glad it ended the way it did, and I didn't have to deal with that.
Yeah, we're glad too. You settled it on the field, 2-1 in 8 innings for the CIF Southern Section Division IV title. Coach, you've had some great teams in the past. I mean, Tahquitz, in terms of baseball programs, the Inland Empire, I mean, you guys are so well respected. Did you feel like it was going to finally happen for this team and for this school? Because you've had some good teams.
I did. When we got out of the jam in the 7th, bases loaded, 2 outs, full count, having to bring Butler out of the bullpen and putting him in that situation because our kid had reached his pitch count limit, and he got out of the jam. I felt like we're going to do this at this point. We have the right guys coming up in the lineup, and we're going to be able to pull this thing out. And you know, like you said, a lot of great teams have come through here, and this is the team that finally kicked down the door and broke through.
We're talking with Ron Savage, head coach of the Tahquitz Titans, your CIF Southern Section Division IV champion, winning in extra innings last night at UC Riverside. I believe it was Caleb Farmer, right, that knocked in the go-ahead run in the 8th?
Correct. Caleb Farmer knocked in Norman Power for the go-ahead run.
And Norman's the guy with the bad hair, right?
Norman with the bad hair.
I remember him.
That's right.
But Caleb, but Caleb's been getting it done all season long for you. I mean, is it almost fitting that he was the guy who knocked in the go-ahead run the 8th inning?
You know, it is, and it's more than just this year. It's kind of a full circle thing. Caleb was at the plate last year against Woodcrest Christian with 1 out and runners at first and third, and swung at a pitch that was about at his eyes and popped the ball up to the second baseman. And then again, you know, roughly close to a year later, he's standing at the plate in more of a pressure-packed situation, you know, and now he comes through and plates that guy, and he's done it all year. I mean, he's done it all year, and I couldn't be more proud of the moment.
That's Tahquitz head coach Ron Savage. Coach, we just wanted to check in for a couple minutes, say congratulations. You are finally a CIF Southern Section champion, so we appreciate you spending a couple minutes here on the Inland Sports Show.
Anything for you, Pep.
I knew you'd say it. You're the best, Coach.
All right, thank you.
All right, that's Ron Savage from Tahquitz High School getting it done at UCR last night.
Yeah, the karma of the show brings championships.
Yeah, they were in here with, with all the crazy blonde hair.
Yeah, a lot of hair.
Speaking of UC Riverside, joining us now on the show, Taylor Fleming, heading to the NCAA National Championships. You were rocking out to the music. Are you a big music aficionado?
I listen to anything and everything.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's your jam? If I said, okay, right now, what are you listening to right now?
I don't know. I always love a good Michael Jackson.
Oh,
you know?
it's my favorite.
Yes, I love a good Michael Jackson.
Love MJ.
R&B, anything.
Anything like that?
Yeah, anything.
So I know a lot of track athletes, they put the headphones on, they get in the zone, right? I know it's a sports cliche, but they get in the zone, they really get all focused and dialed in. Do you want something to like real loud and upbeat and fast, or you want something kind of smooth and to relax?
I do both. I have my Christian music, and then I go ahead and listen to, Kendrick, and then I go back to Michael Jackson, then I listen to love songs. I don't know. I listen to anything.
It's funny you say that because I noticed on your bio you like to sing.
Yeah.
What's your favorite? Do you karaoke?
No.
No.
I don't sing in public. It's mainly in the shower.
Because I was going to give you an open mic. It just let you do your thing.
If we were in the car right now, totally would do it.
That's funny. This is totally a car. Just pretend this is a car.
It's a very small car.
Claustrophobic.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't do small areas very well.
Taylor, you're going to the national championships in the long jump. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you PR'd on your final jump, right? So there was a lot of drama, some suspense going into it to qualify for the national championships.
Yeah.
When you popped off that big jump, did you know like this is good enough to get me to the the national championships in Eugene?
No, I had no clue actually, because we were told we were only gonna know where we were in our flight. So when I saw 11, I thought I was 11th out of 12 jumpers in my flight. So when I looked over at my coaches, he's like, "You have to wait," and I was like, "Wait for what? Like, what does this mean?" He's like, "You're in 11th overall," and it's very loud, so we can't hear anything.
Yeah.
And so we're both mouthing things to each other, like, "You're in 11th," and I'm like, "What does this mean?" He's like, "You have to wait," and I was like, "Where's this been all my life?" So yeah, no, I had no clue.
How long was that? Are we talking about like 5 minutes, a half hour for all the competitors, right, to go through?
So I was the third jumper in the third flight. So we still had the rest of the jumpers in the fourth flight, and then 9 other jumpers behind me. So it was a good maybe like 5 minutes that I had to wait before, and then an extra 5 minutes for them to figure everything out. And then Maxwell over here, he had 1% on his battery, and he's like trying to let me know. No clue. I look over to my fan section, and everybody's cheering, and I was like, "What does that mean?" He's like, "I don't think they'd cheer if you didn't make it."
Yeah, you almost made it.
Good job for getting 13th. No, so yeah, snagged that last position.
Oh my gosh, so much drama. Last jump, batteries dying, can't hear your coaches.
No, you can't hear anything. The energy over there was crazy.
And this was the West Prelims?
Yes.
Was this in Texas?
Yes.
Okay.
Never been to Texas. It's hot and humid.
So was it ideal conditions for a big jump or not really?
No, it actually was. I had never jumped at 7 o'clock at night. I usually do like 2, 3, so I was kind of worried about that. But the humidity and the air, everything over there was actually perfect. For me, we had the best day. Yeah, we had the best day.
Are you a school record holder?
Yes.
You are?
Yes, I am.
In multiple events?
Yes.
In which ones?
So in the heptathlete.
Okay.
So I'm a heptathlete. So
super athlete.
Yeah.
Jeff, what's in the heptathlon? Go ahead, name them.
There would be the high jump, the long jump.
Wait, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So far we're doing good.
Okay, so far.
You got to run the mile.
No.
No. No. There's got to be 100. It'd be sprints. You have to run the 100.
No.
No.
Is it the thing with the moat?
The 100 hurdles.
The
hurdles, and then
no.
Do you have to throw the shot or the disc?
Shot and jav.
And jav. See, they don't have jav in high school out here in California.
That's too dangerous.
It's way too dangerous.
Yeah, because you're going to be running around high school track meets. There's 100 people walking around.
Yeah. No one's paying attention.
Yeah, you'll get lodged in the neck by a javelin. You don't want to do that.
I mean, you were close with the mile, but subtract 2 laps.
Okay, so the 800.
Yeah,
Look at that.
feels like a mile.
Yeah. So then you have
It feels like
anything else that I'm missing?
200.
I'm like, what do we have? I have to go.
200?
I have to go in order. So it's hurdles, high jump, shot put 200, and then long jab 800.
So they kind of spread out like the throwing events, the running events, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which one's your strongest of all those?
Probably long jump. I don't know why I said probably.
It is. I mean, you're going to the national championship,
For sure,
Taylor.
long
I mean,
jump,
that's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Talking with Taylor Fleming here from the UC Riverside Track and Field team going to the national championships in Eugene, Oregon in the long jump. So you also hold the school record in the long jump, I'm assuming as well, right?
Yes.
Did you shatter it? Was it close?
Actually, it was held by one of my best friends.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
So how did that go over?
She was actually there when I did it.
Oh, she was?
Yeah, so we were both like cheering and crying, and I didn't even know what happened. I am very oblivious whenever I do things. And
So it wasn't one of those like, good for you, Taylor.
No.
Great.
No, like she was like, I'm so happy, even because she held the heptathlon record as well, and she was.
So you took both? What man? What a great best
Hold it
friend,
for like
right?
a week and a half, and just come over and take it from her.
Yeah, she's very happy.
when you have a record like that in front of you, and especially when it's personal, when with your best friend has it, like, is she encouraging you, like, oh, Taylor, you're so close. If you just do this or do that, like, you can cut off a couple, I don't know, add a couple inches or whatever it is, cut your time off, to get that record. I mean,
yeah, because I was very new to this event because I picked up 6 new events last year. So last year's my first time doing the heptathlon. And so I'd ask her every time, I'm like, okay, what can I do for this? In the 800, how do you do this? And in hurdles, like, what did you do? I would just ask her for little cues, and she would openly just give them to me, knowing that records are meant to be broken. We all strive for that.
Now at King High School, you were obviously a track star. You were in the hurdles, right? You made it to state. Was it 6th place?
Yes, my senior year.
Your senior year at state. Do you do hurdles now?
I dropped the 400 hurdles.
Of course, right?
A little bit different than the 300 hurdles, but I still do the hundreds. And then I did relays in high school as well. I kind of strayed away from the 4x1, but we did it again this year once, and then the 4x4 as well.
So did you long jump in high school?
Never touched it.
You didn't?
No.
Wow. Do you ever think, man, if I would have started earlier at King High School?
My coaches say that. When I go back to my King people, they're like, oh, we thought about having you long jump. And I'm like,
those guys.
Yeah.
Is that John Corona over there?
Yeah, John Corona. We love John Corona.
Come on.
We thought about, we should have just done it. And I'm like, are you saying that now because you know what I did? He's like, no, we thought about it. The thought started with us.
Yeah. So basically, all the credit goes to John Corona and King High School for at least thinking about it.
Of course, yeah. It's the thought that counts.
Is that right? There you go, right?
I'm going to call him right after the show and rip him.
Yeah, you're holding her back. We're talking with Taylor Fleming here on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports Radio 1350 AM. She's going to the NCAA National Championships in Eugene, Oregon. Tracktown, right? Like Track City, USA. Is that pretty? Have you competed there before? Are you excited to go up there? I mean, that's kind of like the center of the universe for track and field.
I have never been to Oregon. I saw this meet last year on TV, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to be there. I'm going to do that. So
you called your shot last year.
I did. There was actually a tweet going around by one of my teammates. He had posted that. Love interest, whatever, I don't know. But he had posted that. It's fine.
We're going to have to slow your roll. Circle around. Go ahead, yeah.
What?
Well, we'll circle back around to it.
Okay, Grant.
I'm just nosy. That's it.
That's fine. I have a lot of time.
Yeah, commercial break.
So he tweeted that he was going to be this time next year in Eugene. Unfortunately, he didn't make it, but we celebrated that I was able to do it, get it done. So that was my goal when I saw it on TV last year. So I'm super excited to go to Tracktown, USA. I don't like planes, but we'll get over that.
You went to Texas.
A lot different weather.
I would say basically the same thing, right? Oregon, Texas. I mean,
a little different. It might be a little cooler.
Oh, good.
And you're not gonna have the humidity.
Good.
But it's beautiful air, a lot of great distance running. But you're jumping, so maybe you'll jump higher or farther.
We're gonna work on the far. Yes, I do high jump, but we're gonna work on long jump.
What's the keys to a great jump? Because I have no idea. I mean, run and jump far, right?
Well, the best thing that I have is my speed, so that really helps me on the runway. I may not have exactly what everybody else has technically, but my speed helps me. So run and jump.
Is it easy to overthink it?
Very.
I mean, because you spend so much time training and like, okay, the foot's got to hit right here, and my strides and all this stuff. Like, is it? Yeah, obviously it's muscle memory, but like, is it easy to overthink it? Like, you know what, Taylor? Block it all out. Just do it. You know how to do it. Just do it.
See, my coach and I will talk about, just think about this cue. And then I'll be like, okay, what about this? He's like, no, forget that. Just forget it. And so when I get on the runway, I think of the one cue. And then after that, if it didn't work, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to run and I'm just going to do what I know how to do. Not going to think of anything. Just clear my mind and just go for it. So it's very, very easy to overthink things on that runway.
When you hit the sand, do you know, like, man, that was a great jump. That felt really good. Or you're like, ugh. I don't even want to know what the distance was on that one.
The funny thing is, the last jump that I did, I didn't think it was a good jump until I got out of the pit, and she told me 6.31, and I was like, wait, what? That came out of me?
That was me?
I didn't think it was actually a good jump, and the jump before that, I was like, oh, this is a good jump, but I fouled it. So sometimes it'll flip-flop. I wouldn't think it was a good jump, and it was a school record, or then it was like, oh, that was a terrible jump, and so it'll flip-flop most likely.
Where did you break the school record at? What
Long
meet was
Beach
that?
last year at the Big West Conference for multis.
So last year?
Yes.
So you haven't hit that mark this year?
No, this last jump that I did to get into the NCAA championship was my second best jump
Okay.
Yeah, 6.
So now you're trying to break your own record, really?
Yes,
Kind
I'm
of
just
like
trying
pushing
to be a
yourself.
21-foot long jumper. Okay, like
Olympics.
man.
We're talking Olympics. John Corona. We
John
could be in the
Corona.
Olympics right now, right?
He holds everybody.
Great guy over there.
Everyone.
Taylor Fleming here in the UC Riverside, from UC Riverside, going to the NCAA National Championships. Taylor, before we let you go, like, obviously long jump is a specialized thing, although you're a great athlete. You know, you do the heptathlon, as Jeff pointed out. He knows all the events. But like you said, you're fast. I mean, obviously, the speed that you build up and you launch yourself off, I know it's easy to say just run fast and jump, right?
Yeah.
But like really, what are you trying to do? Like if you're really breaking it down, I know we talked about blocking all the other stuff out, but when you're trying to break it down, is it like I've got to take 40 strides, my tippy toes have to hit the end of the plank or whatever? You know what I mean? Like when you're thinking about it, what do you have to do to just kind of break it down in little bits and pieces?
So when I break down my jump, I think, okay, I need at least 3 to 4 big long pushes out of the back. So I'm getting out of the back, and then after that, I think, okay, now I have to start transitioning to get taller. And then the minute I feel like I'm tall going into my last 2 steps, that's when I know they have to be quick, get my feet down to be able to jump far. But my main problem sometimes is I don't get my hips under me. They tend to sit back, so that's what I really try to work on. But mainly it's just that speed in the middle. I know it's going to be a good jump if I have 4 good pushes out of the back. But sometimes I still count my steps. I don't know why. I don't know how I have time. But there's some athletes out there that don't. I'm like, how do you know? They're like, my feet just know.
My feet know.
I'm like, yeah, no, I have to tell myself right foot in front.
Yeah,
okay.
right,
We jump
left.
off the right. Okay. Like every time I'm like left. Nope. It's the right foot.
Well, you're still, I guess, a baby in the sport, right?
no,
I mean, because you didn't do it at King. It's well documented now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is only my 2nd year long jumping, so it makes me wonder, okay, what would have happened, what could have happened, but I mean...
So in your first year long jumping, you broke the school record.
Yes.
You're pretty good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And we have another year with her.
Yeah. Who knows? Sky's the limit. Where's the
limit.
next Summer Olympics? Where is that?
We don't know yet.
We don't know yet? It's not...
Do we know?
I don't know. I'm asking. You're the track star over here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was like, I know LA put a bid in there.
Wherever it's at. I know you don't like to fly, but maybe you'll be flying there and be in the Olympics. That'd be pretty cool.
I mean, if it's in LA, I wouldn't have to fly.
Bingo.
I could drive.
There you go.
I'm also afraid of boats, too, so...
Oh, yeah. You're landlocked. You're stuck.
Yeah.
Taylor, best of luck at the NCAA National Championships.
Thank
We're excited for you. Best of luck in Eugene. So, the love interest, what's that about?
What?
Is he a track
What?
guy?
Yeah.
Oh. Is he fast? Or is he a hulking guy that throws something?
He throws something.
Oh, he's a hulking mass.
But he did not make the NCAA Championships.
It's still
like
okay.
Taylor.
It's okay.
It's all good.
Yeah.
all
That's
good.
not stopping anything. It's not going to hold
It's all
me
good. The
back.
relationship is stronger than ever, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Taylor, you're awesome. Best of luck in Eugene.
Perfect. Thank you.
When we come back on the Inland Sports Show, Doug Gottlieb from Fox Sports 1. We're going to talk NBA Finals, NBA Draft, a lot of good stuff. That's coming up here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM.
I played once upon a time at Centennial High School. I was actually on the first ever CIF championship team back in 2000, and then my senior year we won it again. I think that's my passion because I've done it. You know, I know exactly where these athletes are at. I know what their mindset is right now. I know how hard it is to, number one, find a performance coach who can take you to the next level. What sets us apart has to be, you know, how we work with our athletes and what we know. We can take an athlete and you know, help them reach their athletic potential, you know, help them, you know, prevent injuries, help get them stronger. I know every single athlete who steps into this gym. I know exactly where they're at, and I'm going to progress them every week. If you're not getting results, then, you know, really what's it about? We're going to deliver something that's measurable, you know, in terms of speed, power, you know, strength, agility.
Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports Radio 1350 AM. What a great show, Jeff. Taylor Fleming was awesome. We had Talkwitz celebrating a CIF baseball title, ACA in the house, an emotional, inspirational story of, tragedy hitting the Eagles this week, and then they still win the CIF title. It's gut-wrenching.
Pretty sweet. And I will say this, the last 2 weeks, our quality of guests have really stepped up. We've had I was dumbfounded. I couldn't even talk. She was very, very pretty young lady. I'm going to watch UCR just to see her jump.
Yeah, John Maxwell, the SID, said that you could follow Taylor's progress on all the social media platforms for UC Riverside. So she's going to start on Thursday up there in Eugene. So
awesome.
She doesn't like to fly, but she flies out Monday.
Pretty dang sweet.
The Inland Sports Show brought to you by Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change, Ken's Sporting Goods, and Boost Performance Training. Yes, I got my Ken's cool wrap that I put around my neck when it's hot out there.
Does that work pretty well?
Really well. Get it wet, nice and cold. I'm taking it out there to UCR because Moreno Valley is playing for the CIF Southern Section Division 6 title at noon. So in a couple minutes, first pitch.
What a big turnaround for Moreno Valley, for gosh sakes.
Val.
CIF Championship.
Yeah.
They've had 3 coaches in 3 years. And look at the turnaround. Just pretty impressive.
Absolutely. They're taking on Santa Maria, noon, UCR, Division 6. So we're going to head out there after this. Got my Ken's cool wrap. Take care of me. Softball also going on. So intern Colin not in the house because he's actually going to Irvine. Colin goes everywhere. He loves covering all these games as Norco is the nightcap tonight. Excuse me. Norco is taking on Los Alamitos for the CIF Southern Section Division 1 title. That's 6:30, Deanna Manning Stadium in Irvine. Norco is working on a perfect season, 33-0. They haven't lost. They're number 1 in the nation, and they're taking on Los Alamitos, who most people consider as the number 2 team in the nation. So 1 versus 2, Division 1 title, on the line. The Cougars are coming off that win against Grand Terrace in the semifinals, 11-7. There's video highlights right now on the Inland Sports channel if you want to check that one out. But pretty crazy what Norco's doing. They've had so many great teams, but this one's going undefeated.
That's pretty impressive. To be a national champion twice now almost here in the last.
Yeah, they did it. What year was that? I want to say 2011 or 12. One of my first years here in the Inland Empire. I think ESPN came out to Norco High School and they congratulated them and did all that. So, but right now, let's go to the Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change Celebrity Hotline. Somehow he knows Jeff, and I think Jeff considers him a friend.
And he's a Tim Hatch guy.
He's a Tim Hatch guy?
Yes.
It's the great Doug Gottlieb here on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports 1350 AM. Doug, welcome to the show. How are you today?
Hey, guys. Beautiful day in Southern California, right?
Man, you can't beat it, right?
No, you really can't.
So
funny, I've lived on the East Coast wasted on checking out the weather when you're on the East Coast, right? In addition to the fact that the weather's usually bad, looking at your phone, planning your day, whereas I've only been back in California for a couple months, and then previous to that 2 years, from 12 to 14, and you never care about the weather, right? It's just different degrees of perfect.
That's about right.
Now, are you back in Orange County then, to your old stomping grounds?
I'm actually currently, at this very moment, in my brother's old room in the city of Orange.
You're in Greg's old room?
Yeah. When I stayed with my mom, I stayed in my brother's old room because that was the dominant room. He had the good room in the back.
Yeah, the older brother usually gets the better stuff.
Yeah, my sister's room was turned into an office, and my brother's room was a little bit better than mine. Mine was like a 9x12. It faced the front, very little privacy, not a lot of space. I don't know. I just right across from the bathroom. It's a shot back in time, but it's cool. It's cool to say I'm in my brother's old room. So so I am back in the old stomping ground in the OC, right? Actually in Orange.
Lots of room for activities in your brother's room. Doug, let's talk about some NBA draft coming up. Being an Inland Empire guy, we got a couple guys that we're keeping an eye on, specifically Lonzo Ball from UCLA and Ike Anigbogu as well, who's a Corona Centennial guy. You watch a lot of college basketball. People are excited about Lonzo Ball. Looks like the stars have aligned for him to go to the Lakers. Is this a no-brainer, or can we see a curveball here at the last minute?
Well, I think you could see a curveball. I mean, I know some of the Lakers guys that, De'Aaron Fox is, I think, going to get a good long look. I also think that the Celtics, even though he hasn't worked out for the Celtics, it's not going to be crazy for the Celtics to go like, hey, you know what? He could be our point guard and make others better. But, if I was a betting man, I would say the Lakers, everything you heard, I talked to Luke on my show. Magic has said that the one guy that reminds him of his style of play is Lonzo. And, they need, their talent level is not great. It's not even good, really. And I do think that Lonzo has that special something to which he'll make others better. I don't know if his personal ceiling, matter of fact, I don't think his personal ceiling is as high as Markelle Fultz. I think there's some other, players I'm intrigued by in terms of what their personal ceiling is, like a Jonathan Isaac from Florida State. But I think the ability to make other people better is a gift. It's a skill, and I think, passing, not only passing is dying, but creative passing is not something that you can teach a player to do, and he has that. The Lakers need it to rise their overall talent level, and I don't think he'll be their best player if they turn the thing around, but I think he'll make some of their more marginal players into good players.
All right, hey, Doug, if you had one sleeper in the draft that everybody's kind of overlooked, who's that one guy in the draft that you look at and go, hey, he's going to be a superstar?
Superstar. Well, I don't know if there's a superstar would be a reach. I mentioned Jonathan Isaac before. I don't know if you guys have seen him. He's like 6'9". He can play a little point, 2, 3, 4. From only played a year at Florida State. Like he's a 21st century player, right? Like I really like Josh Jackson coming out of Kansas. But again, I don't think he reminds me a lot of my teammate in college, Desmond Mason, just in that super competitive. He's a much better ball handler than Desmond was. But like Desmond, he's got a hitch in his shot. And so, the ceiling for him is like Jimmy Butler. The floor is Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, if the hitch becomes even more pronounced. But I think that Josh Jackson's the kind of guy, great culture changer for some of these young teams. They don't know how to win, right? Like the Phoenix Suns this past year, they had a kid go for 70, and they take pictures and celebrate afterwards. Which 70 is a lot of points, right? But they lost by 10. I don't know. I'm just like, I lose by 10. I don't care who's got. I don't look at the box score 70. But so, in other words, they need some culture change in terms of valuing winning basketball games. And I do think Josh Jackson will help you. Jonathan Isaac's just a real multi-dimensional talent. And then there's a bunch of other, I think, point guards. We mentioned De'Aaron Fox earlier. Like I could see De'Aaron Fox being an all-star caliber starting point guard. He can do something. Lonzo Ball can do something that no one else in the draft can do, which is create shots for other people. De'Aaron Fox can do something that no one else can do. That's because he can stop. He can guard the ball. And I went to game one, and I'll tell you, like, those guys are incredible. But it's exhausting, and you have to have such great lateral quickness and hands in order to guard these guys, because they're guarding ball screens, and you're 25, 30 feet from the basket. They're coming downhill at you. You got to have ridiculous foot speed and foot agility, and De'Aaron Fox has that. He's a jump shot away from being the best point guard in this draft, I think. And then there's a point guard to play at my school, Juwan Evans, who he's got some work to do, and he's only 5'11", does have some long arms, big hands. But I'll tell you that there's parts of his game which he really reminds me of Chris Paul. He's tough. He's really good going off a ball screen, especially to his right. He's an improved jump shooter. He's not that great a defender, but Chris Paul wasn't a great defender coming out of Wake Forest either. And he, like Lonzo Ball, can make others better, especially off those ball screens. He's not Lonzo, but he's a little Lonzo light. And so later on in the first round, like, hey, if Oklahoma City really needs a point guard to move Russell over to the 2, like, that's the kind of guy you could go get. You get a starting caliber point guard eventually in the late 20s in this draft.
We're talking with Doug Gottlieb from the Doug Gottlieb Show, Fox Sports 1. Doug, Jeff months and months ago predicted that Ike Anigbogu would be a first-round pick, although he wasn't getting a lot of minutes at the time, but Jeff said he had a lot of upside. I mean, are you excited to see him coming out after his freshman year, and do you see some positive upside with Ike as well out of UCLA?
Definitely. Look, I use the term 21st century. He's a 2017 big guy because he's laterally agile. Because look, what a center does now is not at all what a center did 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And in many ways, the art of scoring inside, low post scoring, I miss it, but you don't really need it. We've determined with statistical analysis that's an inefficient shot. And so what he can do is, I think he can guard the ball some on ball screens, when you get in a switch. He's obviously a very good shot blocker. He can finish. I mean, you look at what all these big guys do. Can you run? Can you roll? Can you move laterally? Can you catch? He can do all those things. Now, I personally would have advised him to stay. I like big guys. I wish they would dominate at the college level before they get into kind of a man's game, because then they get pigeonholed and all they become is shot blockers, dunkers, pick and roll guys. But yeah, I do. I think because of his athleticism, his hand-eye coordination, in fact, it's not just that he jumps, it's that he moves well laterally, has good feet and hands. I could absolutely see him being a really solid NBA player for a good long time.
All right, hey, Doug, I'm going to bring this back to your brother, Greg, here. Earlier in the week, I saw Aaron Boone was talking about the fight between the Nats and the Giants. And Tim Hatch called me, and then I remember the stories from Greg. Didn't Aaron Boone and your brothers' teams, Elmo and Villa Park, get in a big brawl twice in high school?
There's two fights, yeah. Aaron actually texted me this morning because I tweeted about it, and he's like, we actually got in two fights. But what happened was the first time, I don't know if Hatch remembers this, first time was at Elmo's gym, and I was the ball boy. They called me Gopher, and Greg was Rat. And Rat got in a little fight with Aaron Boone, and he got pulled away. I think the vice principal pulled Greg away, and Tom Hetzel was the one. When the whistle stopped blowing, his best friend Tom Hetzel was in there scrapping with Aaron Boone. So Tom Hetzel got suspended for the next game. Here's the little fact that you don't know. Okay, so like I said, I was the ball boy, and the very next game, Hetzel summoned me to his house because he was suspended and he wasn't going to the JV game. And I had something else going. He's like, I'll drive you to the game. And I don't really have to walk to Elmo's gym. I could walk to Elmo's gym, but it's probably drive worthy. It's probably a half mile. So I walked over to the Hetzel's house, and he can't play, so he's in a ball cap. And he pours me a shot glass of Jack Daniels. I was 13 years old. He's like, we're gonna watch this game like men. So I went and I had a shot of Jack Daniels. Then we went over, and I was ball boy for the game on a shot of Jack. So I think I can out him now. It's only anyway. So then they went and they played at VP, and I think there was another fight there. So yeah, there's the rich kids from Villa Park. They always want to scrap with El Medina.
Yeah, and I'm sure
I
that
think Elmo was 2-0 against them that year.
Yeah, and I'm sure that they both said, "Hey, just don't hit me in the face," because look at Greg and look at Aaron. Come on, they're both pretty boys.
Yeah, dude. Aaron, I'm just telling you, I work with Aaron at ESPN. He's a great dude, man. He's such a, and then now he and his wife, they have their own kids. They've adopted a couple of kids, I think, from Haiti. He's like one of those people that you're around and you're like, God, you make me feel like such an inferior human being to you. Sucks. But yeah, good dude, good times, man. I never got into a fight, I don't think, in high school. My brother, those guys, the Elmo guys were scrappers.
Hey, Doug, we appreciate the time. We're going to let you enjoy your brother's room, but we appreciate you breaking down some NBA draft with us.
I act like I'm just hanging out in my brother's room, reminiscing, getting posters up for it. Nothing illicit like that. I played ball this morning over in Irvine. I was a little fried, so I closed my eyes, waiting to talk to you guys. But yeah, anytime you want to hop on, anything for Hatch, man. That guy's a good guy. I'm excited to hear this show when I'm driving around. I'm not sure if I'm going to roll in the IE anytime soon, but if I do, I'll pop you guys on. If you need anything at all, you let me know.
Doug Gottlieb from the Doug Gottlieb Show. Anything for Hatch. First time I've heard that. Doug, We appreciate it.
Later, guys.
Thanks,
Doug.
Doug Gottlieb, the show brought to you by Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change, Ken Sporting Goods, Boost Performance Training. Great show. Big thanks to Doug Gottlieb from Fox Sports 1. We will see you next Saturday on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM.